Welcome to the discussion. Today we're diving into that perplexing minute missing from Epstein's jail surveillance footage.
Absolutely, it's a fascinating case. The missing minute really opens up a whole can of questions.
Right, so basically we're looking at footage that jumps from 11:58 p.m. straight to midnight, and experts like Dr. G have been busy analyzing it.
Yeah, and what really grabs my attention is how he uses official sources, including that DOJ OIG report, to back his timeline analysis.
Exactly. It's like instead of diving straight into wild conspiracy chatter, he digs into actual details, making the case for what might be a technical glitch.
But isn't that too convenient? I mean, do we really believe that a system glitch could explain a full missing minute during such a critical time?
Well, that's the big question. He points out that Attorney General Pam Bondi claimed the video system resets at midnight every night. So it could just be one of those routine system quirks.
That's a fair point, but then we have to consider whether this explanation doesn't also inadvertently cover up larger issues.
True, it's a bit like when you see a missing puzzle piece and then someone explains it away with old system error without really addressing the impact of that one gap.
Yep, exactly. And the fact that over 11 hours of surveillance footage have been released, yet just that 1 minute remains missing, definitely fuels more suspicion.
Right, it almost feels as though that 1 minute gap is crying out for more in-depth explanation. It's as if that missing minute was the linchpin for a lot of the ensuing conspiracy theories.
Yeah, conspiracy theorists love these gaps. They see the missing minute and suddenly it's a sign of something major being concealed.
Exactly, but Dr. G approaches it differently. He breaks it down frame by frame, using his background in forensic psychology to understand and interpret the behavior captured. You know, his expertise gives it a more rational lens.
Totally, it's refreshing. I mean, instead of just leaning on sensationalism, he digs into body language and even the technology behind it.
And here's another twist. While many are quick to assume foul play given the weight of Epstein's entire case, the DOJ's closure citing no evidence of foul play muddles the waters considerably.
Right, because even though the official stance reaffirms Epstein's death, the way that narrative was presented left plenty of room for alternative interpretations.
Yeah, it's like trying to solve a mystery with only half the clues.
Yeah,
It makes you wonder how much of the story has really been told.
and I find it interesting how political figures, especially MAGA supporters and certain lawmakers, have latched onto the missing minute as evidence of a larger cover-up.
Absolutely. It's one of those instances where a tiny technical detail snowballs into a major political talking point. It's almost like the media radar gets tuned in to the smallest inconsistencies.
Exactly. But here's a thought. Don't you think relying on system error explanations might be a bit too simplistic for something as high profile as this?
I get that skepticism. However, arguably, a system error is entirely plausible with outdated technology, and
Right.
sometimes the simplest answer is the correct one.
True, but let's consider the alternative. If it wasn't a simple glitch, then what? Are we looking at deliberate editing or evidence tampering?
That's the million-dollar question. Dr. G seems to lean away from that, emphasizing instead the limitations of the surveillance system, a mundane yet effective cover in its own way.
I see what you mean. It's almost like using a dated smartphone to record a critical event. Sometimes the shortcomings of the tech really do dictate the final footage.
Exactly, it's like if you're using an old camera with a known bug, you might just lose a minute of video here and there. That's the argument.
And it makes you think, what else might be missing or misinterpreted due to technological limitations?
That's a very good point. There's always the niggling fact that outdated tech could inadvertently fuel controversies. But Dr. G stresses that this particular gap, while suspicious sounding, is most plausibly explained by a nightly system reset.
Right, but I still wonder if there's a possibility that those behind the scenes could have taken advantage of that reset period.
It's a challenge, isn't it? I mean, it does invite alternative theories. However, when you scrutinize the specifics, like the exact time jump from 11:58 p.m. to midnight, it does align closely with what a system reboot might produce.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. But sometimes I think we might be underestimating the intentional manipulation factor, especially in such a politically charged case.
And that's a valid critique, honestly. There's always room for debate, especially given that this case touches both technological misfires and political narratives.
Precisely. The fact that Trump allies and various lawmakers have expressed anger over withheld files only adds layers to the controversy.
It really underscores how even a brief technical hiccup can become embroiled in broader political and social debates.
Yes, indeed.
It's almost like looking into a hall of mirrors.
And the whole scenario, with the incomplete footage and subsequent analyses, seems to exemplify the challenges of piecing together truth from fragmented evidence.
Absolutely. It's a perfect storm of outdated tech, high profile individuals, and the internet's readiness to seize upon any hint of inconsistency.
You know, it reminds me of how a simple puzzle piece that doesn't fit can make you question the integrity of the whole picture.
Yeah, exactly that. And while Dr. G uses his forensic psychology lens to offer one explanation, the fact remains that for many, the minute gap remains a tantalizing anomaly. It keeps the debate very much alive.
And isn't that the beauty and the curse of these high-profile cases? They leave room for interpretation even when technical details seem to add up.
Definitely. In the end, whether one leans towards the system glitch explanation or suspects something deeper, this analysis by Dr. G forces us to confront how technology, evidence, and public perception intertwine.
Exactly, and it pushes the conversation into how we evaluate evidence in today's modern, heavily mediated world.
For sure, it's like each minute, recorded or missing, carries its own story, and one single technical detail can echo through the realms of forensic science and political debate.
Well said. It's a compelling reminder that sometimes the devil is really in the details.
Right. And it makes you appreciate the importance of thorough analysis over sensational headlines.
Absolutely.
Because without careful scrutiny, it's all just conjecture.
Exactly. It's a balance between healthy skepticism and relying on technical realities.
And that, in turn, is what keeps conversations like this both intriguing and necessary, questioning every gap, every anomaly with the tools we have, no matter how mundane they might seem.
Well, that's a wrap for today's exploration. It really leaves us with a lot to ponder about technology, evidence, and narratives.
Indeed it does. Thanks for sticking with this deep dive into one very minute, yet incredibly loaded piece of footage.
Absolutely. Thanks for the great discussion and the thoughtful perspectives. Till next time.